All right, guys, welcome once again to our, what day is today? Friday morning art party online. I'm not sure exactly what was going on with Facebook or what's happening there, but for some reason they would not let us live stream there. Same with last night, we had a little bit of an issue as well with the end of our post. So maybe we're just making too many live videos. I have no idea, but we'll get it fixed for you, and a replay will be available on Facebook for sure after this is all done. We'll post it there as well. But for now, maybe YouTube will work a little bit better for us. I know the live chat is disabled for this video. I think that might have been something that we did. But anyway, we can deal with all of this. So once again, welcome. Today we are going to be painting the poop emoji. I just took a peek at our artist's costume, and I think you're going to like it. I will go over what we need for equipment and supplies here today. We've got our 5 different paints. We got the yellow, blue, and red, black and white paint. We've got 2 sort of plates that we're going to use. You can use a palette and a mixing plate, but you do need a mixing plate and somewhere to hold your paint, obviously. We've got 3 brushes, our large, medium, and small brush. We've got, do we need a pencil today?
Yeah, we're going to need a pencil.
We're going to use a pencil today as well, so if you have one of those, chalk will work as well. And of course you need a couple napkins in case things get messy, and a canvas. So today we've got a 16 by 20 canvas. I know a lot of people out there are using a smaller 8 by 10 canvas as well. Doesn't matter, we do this for display purposes. You can use whatever canvas you want. You can use paper, cardboard, wood, the windows, whatever you'd like to do. And I think that's pretty much it. I wanted to say tonight we are doing this coffee cup painting. This one's on board, but it looks great on canvas as well. We've got a couple more that are scheduled in the next couple of days to go through. Hopefully our live streams back on Facebook are working at that stage. But we're rolling with the punches, and we're excited to get going. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Damon #2 Roberts into the studio.
All right, I'm feeling a little off today. Do I look like poop, Len?
You look pretty good, I think. I think you look pretty good.
I feel like I look like poop.
I just noticed the toilet paper add-on.
Well, I got to show off my bling,
Amazing.
right? This stuff's worth a fortune right now. That's some good money right here. All right, you better be ready for a lot of puns because we're feeling a little bit corny today.
All day, folks.
All day. These are solid.
Yep. All right, let's get running here.
All right, let's get running. Oh my goodness. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the biggest brush that we have, and we're going to mix up a light blue, okay? So whenever you're mixing colors, you always start with your lightest color first, and then we add our other one to it. So we're going to start, let me get my mark here, right about there. We're going to start with a couple big scoops of white. Once we have some white in there, we're going to start picking up little bits of blue and adding some blue into it. We just want a light blue. Now, they're all going to be different. The shades are all going to be a little different. That's fine. This is background. I'm just looking for a lightish blue. Or whatever color you want. So I got a nice lightish blue. Get a touch more in there. Let's see. They're all going to be a little bit different. So is mine. There we go. when you're done mixing that color, always wipe your brush off really well, because we don't want to have too much on our brush at a time. And we're going to start at the top of this canvas. And we're going to go back and forth with nice long brush strokes of light blue. And then as we're working our way down, still with a little bit of that light blue on our brush, we're going to start picking up white. And we're going to start blending some white in so that it gets really light down to about the halfway mark. So little bits of light blue. You really want to spread this out. This is background. So we don't want big clumps of paint. We want it to dry somewhat quickly so that we can move on to step 2. Get some light blue starting at the top. Make sure you paint these sides and the top of your canvas as well. Little bits of light blue, spreading it out. Then with some of that light blue on the brush, we're just going to pick up tiny bits of white at a time. We're just brushing back and forth, nice and streaky. Little bits of blue, little bits of white. We want it really light down at the halfway mark. You just go back and forth, spread it out. Started off with some of that light blue at the top, going back and forth, really spreading it out. As we worked our way down, we started picking up little bits of white on that brush, still back and forth, spreading it out, until we got really light down here at the halfway mark. A minute to do that. And again, we will be posting this to Facebook after we're finished. So after we have our light blue at the top, working our way down with that white, we're going to clean off that brush really well, give it a good wipe. We need to make another color. So we're going to start with a clean large brush, and we're going to start with a little bit of white. Into that white, we're going to add some red and a little bit of blue. Red and just a little bit of blue. I started with white, Added in some red and just a little pinprick of blue. Gives us this nice reddish purple. And same thing as before, when you have that color mixed, you always wipe off your brush, because we want to start with just little bits at a time. So you wipe it off on the side of your plate, wipe it off on your napkin. Don't wipe it off on the paper towel, or sorry, the toilet paper. That stuff's worth a fortune right now. And we're going to do the same sort of thing. But this time we're going to start with a little bit of this reddish purple at the bottom of the canvas, back and forth. And we're going to start bringing it up. And as we're bringing it up, we're going to be taking little bits of white the same way, just with this color and little bits of white. And if it's moving a little too fast, it's all right. We're going to be taking a little drying break after we do this part. So there's no rush. Don't force it out.
Don't force it out.
Took Len a minute, but he got it.
Yep.
So little bits of that reddish purple, and then we're picking up little bits of white. Working our way up now, nice long brush strokes. Because we want this one to be really light when it meets our blue in the middle. Bringing it right up to that blue, making it nice and light. So we've got our whole canvas covered. Thin coats of paint. We don't want any big clumps of paint. Okay, we want to spread it out. So that was light blue working with white down to the halfway mark. And then that reddish purple at the bottom, working our way up with some white till they met in the middle. And then we need that to be dry. So we're going to take a little drying break here, because I'm going to let mine dry. If you have any big clumps of paint, you can fan it with your mixing plate. Or just go grab a blow dryer, blow dry it for a minute. Because we need that to be dry, then we're going to do some drawing on it. And for the drawing, I think most people have a pencil. But you can use a pencil, you can use a piece of chalk, you can use crayon, you can use pencil crayon. Basically, I wouldn't recommend a pen. That's a little harder to cover. But you can use anything you like, as long as you can see the lines that we're going to be drawing on here. All right, let's let that dry. All right, had myself a nice little break there.
I don't know if anybody else is enjoying, but I certainly am.
We're having fun. That's what counts. If you guys are enjoying it, that's just a bonus. Okay, so now we got to do some drawing on here. So I'm just going to move mine out of the way because I broke it down into some basic shapes for everybody. So it's 3 parts. We're going to start off with some nice big ovals. So whenever you're drawing, you always try to break it down into the basic shapes and then build from there. So when you're drawing these first few steps, go with light little pencil lines. You don't want to press too hard, okay? Just light little ones, because we're going to be covering most of this with paint. But we don't need hard marks in there. So as you can see, we just started off with 4 ovals. There's 1. There's 2. 3. And 4. They're ovals. They're slowly getting a little bit skinnier as they go up. They're stacking on top of each other. So they do cross over here. So here's 1 oval. Then the next one does cross over it. 2 oval. 3 oval. And then a nice big fat one at the top. Light little pencil lines, like I said. Basic shapes. And they're all going to look different. It's poo. Love my job. Love my job. Yes. So that's our basic shapes for our poop emoji. Is 4 ovals. Big one at the bottom. Little bit shorter for the next. Shorter again. And then one near the top. Like I said, we got to take this another step further. Number 2. We connected these. Okay. So these lines that are in the center of mine, those are the lines that we put on with step 1. I left them on so that you could see them. And then these black lines on mine, this is number 2. Okay. So we connected them. We're basically getting rid of these lines that are in the center here. We only needed them to draw the ovals. So we shaped the bottom of our poo with a little curve. And we can lightly erase that bottom line. If you're using chalk, you can just wipe it away. But that's why we wanted to do light little lines. So we connected them all on the outsides here, because that's what we want to look at. And then there's this nice little curved triangle at the top. I'll leave that up for a second, but we do have to take this one step further. So we did number 1, we did number 2, now we got to do number 3. I don't know what number 3 is.
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. All right, what do you think? Is that good? Move on to number 3. It's a little bit different without having our comment section right now. Not trying to rush you guys. Number 3. Like I said, we're going to take this one step further. And we have our lovely poop emoji.
Outline.
Outline.
Outline. The outline.
The outline.
Yep.
Nope, that's the whole poop emoji. Have a good one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you later. our poop emoji outline. First thing we did is we gave him a nice big smile. So you can put that in with your pencil. Nice big smile. And two really big ovals for his eyes. Then with those bumps we had on the side, where we started with ovals and progressed forward, we're going to connect them. But they're going to be on a tilt. So like down here, this was one big oval here. But we're actually going to connect it to the bump up top, or the bump above it.
Maybe just throw that other one up there, just a little reference point.
Nope.
The one there, yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
There we go. There. So over here, we had our oval at the bottom. But see how it's connected to the next bump up? So it actually goes up to the next one and back down. Same with the next bump. It actually goes up to the next one. So how about I leave those two up there for a minute, because I'm going to go draw mine on real quick. And we'll let you guys get caught up so that you can see both of them, where we went from here to here. We all good on those pencil lines? I think so. Not too bad. If it looks like poop, good job. Nailed it! I penciled mine in. Now, the colors we're going to be doing, they're going to take 2 coats. All right? So we're going to do thin coats first. We're going to take our medium brush, or your small brush if you feel a little bit more comfortable getting in the smaller areas. So you can use a bit of both. We're going to paint in the mouth and both of those ovals in a thin coat of white. Now you want to try and follow your pencil lines as best you can. Usually what I do is I'll paint in these eyes and mouth with a thin coat of white. Then I'm going to stand back a little bit and take a look at it, just to see if they're maybe a touch crooked, or maybe I need to make one a little bit bigger to match. It's a little hard when you're right in front of it to make them absolutely perfect. So you always need to step back, take a look at it then. So medium brush and white. Let's paint in this smile first. Thin coat. following my pencil lines right now. I'll stand back after I get these eyes in and see if I need to tweak the shape at all. Stand back a minute, and then I'll get out of your way because I might be in your way. Let's see. Let me change it up a little. Thin coat is key, though. Okay, so thin coat of white on the eyes and the mouth. Thin coat because we're going to be coming back to it afterwards. After you do that thin coat of white, we want to clean off that brush, dry it off. Because now we got to make brown. To make brown, it's going to be a mix of 3 different colors. It's going to be yellow, red, and blue. And it's just varying amounts of those depending on which pigments you have, which shades you have, but it is just those 3 colors. I'm going to show you how to make it with these colors. And then I do have a little cheat sheet for you. So to make brown, I'm going to take that medium brush. We're going to take a couple of big scoops of yellow. Because we're always starting with our lightest color first, so yellow. And then we're going to add in red. I'm going to use about the same amount of red. So we have our yellow, we have our red. Now we're going to start adding little tiny bits of blue at a time. Just a little touch, stir it together, little pinprick of blue. Stir it together. Then we can add a little pinprick more of blue. Keep stirring until we get a brown. Now my cheat sheet, which I think everybody can see on the close-up camera right there. We're good?
Yep.
Perfect. So when you're stirring this together, if your color is looking too purple, you need to add some yellow. If it's looking too green, you need to add some red. And finally, if it's looking too orange, you need to add some blue.
Why did you X out the second?
I did not. That would be Jeff.
Did he think that it was wrong context?
Yes, he thought it was the wrong 2. So he X'd it out.
Yeah.
And we continued, and then everybody in the comments yesterday was like, Jeff, that's wrong, man. So, love you, Jeff. You're awesome, man. Don't fire me.
Yeah, but check your grammar.
Okay, so I'm going to do a little test here for that. Still looking a little bit orange of mine, so I'm going to add just a little touch more blue. Just following that cheat sheet. Small amounts at a time. Or if you have brown at home, you're already a step ahead. There we go. That's a little better. Again, our poop emoji is going to take 2 coats. So we're going to do 1 thin coat of brown everywhere else. So all around these eyes, around this mouth, all of that. Thin coat. And yes, you may still be able to see through it a little bit. Don't worry. We're going to be doing a second. So wipe your brush off after you mix. Just get the extra paint off. And let's start painting our poop. Yeah, smear it. Smear it on there. That's what you want to do, is smear it.
Oh, what is wrong with you?
A lot.
Yeah, but you're not wrong.
Yeah, smear it. Oh, I got it all over my fingers. Hate it when that happens.
No. Good thing we all know how to wash our hands very well.
Yes, wash and sanitize your hands. Thin coat, thin coat. For all of you kids watching, you guys might be a little bit quicker than I am painting this part brown. So what I like to do, and what we've done on our Facebook, is if you beat me, if you're done that brown before me, jump up and you got to give us 15 jumping jacks. All right, you got to stay active. So if you beat me, you have to do 15 jumping jacks.
For anyone listening, I wanted to also let you know if there's somebody from outside of Charlottetown, we just added our schedule for deliveries next week. We got 2 deliveries to Montague on Monday, Thursday, I believe. And then we also have Summerside on Tuesday, Friday, with a Tignish run on Tuesday.
The old Tignish run.
Yeah, so just in case you're looking for deliveries, or it's not deliveries, it's pickup, but yeah, those are the days. Kind of give a few people a few more days this time.
I think we probably had some kids beat me painting this brown, so you guys better be doing your jumping jacks.
So when you're doing, just as a little hint, I guess, for most, I'm just noticing when you're doing the outline, like the the outside line, you try to do it. I think you try to do it in one kind of, you know what I mean, like one brush stroke a lot of times.
Nice and slow. You can do this in short little brush strokes.
What's easier?
Whatever you're more comfortable with.
I suppose. But
We're gonna be the
What
reason.
do you do?
The reason I'm not too worried about this outside edge being a little bit bumpy is because we're gonna be outlining it. So when we outline it is when we go nice and slow and try to get one fluid motion. I do go nice and slow though. For anybody looking for that little tip, what I do is just slowly take your time. Take your time. Pick up a little bit of paint, spread it on. When we get to outlining is when we'll go real slow and we'll try and do long brush strokes. I think that's kind of what Len was hinting at there.
Yeah, just when you're doing those outside ones, instead of people doing short little, you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's easier to do one.
Yeah, pick up some paint, try and get a fluid line on, and then spread it out. Or sorry, smear it out. Smear it out. Word of the day is smear.
Smear.
There we go. That's a good poop. Gotta love a good poop. Emoji. I definitely think there's some kids that beat me there. But I tell you what, we'll do one more little thing before we take a little drying break. We're just gonna clean out our brush, dry it off, and do a second thin coat of white on our mouth and eyes. Then we'll take a drying break to let everybody get caught up. Get your jumping jacks finished. But just a thin coat of white on the mouth and eyes, and we're gonna let our poop dry. Here we go, thin coat of white over our mouth and eyes. And we'll let people get caught up. We'll let our brown dry a little bit before we keep going. Alrighty, how we all doing? We got our poop painted. We got our eyes painted with that second coat. Same with the mouth. We cleaned off our brush. We did our 15 jumping jacks. Hope so. So, now we're going to go back to our medium brush. And with some brown, we're going to start painting our poop emoji again. Now, before we start, we're not just going to paint the whole thing. We're going to paint it in sections because we're going to be doing some blending. It's got some highlights on the sides and whatnot. So I'm going to paint just the top of our poop with some brown, and then while it's still wet, I'm going to blend in a little bit of white. Now we're going to wipe our brush off and move on to the next part, all the way down. So just watch first, one part at a time. I'm going to take some brown. We're going to smear it on this top. And then while that brown is still wet, we're going to pick up a little touch of white. And we're just adding that little blended highlight on the left-hand side. Small amounts at a time. Don't brush over the same spot too many times. Otherwise, it'll all turn the same color. Then we're going to pick up a little brown, and we're going to move on to the next little area. We're just kind of accenting curves. I'm painting it, this little area in brown, picking up a tiny touch of white, and just lightly blending some in on the left-hand side. We wipe our brush off. Let's move on to the next little area. Painting it all in brown first. Then picking up a tiny bit of white. Blending it in. Little bits at a time. That's key there. And again, if it's looking like poop, good job. We're getting there. Brown first, blending in little bits of white. one small section at a time. And that's how we highlight our poop emoji. We'll give you guys a minute to do that. We're almost done. Almost done. Let you guys get caught up there. And we're back. Alrighty, so now we're going to start some outlining. We're going to use our little tiny brush. We can use our medium brush for a little bit, but I'll get you there. But it's going to be a little tiny brush, and it's going to be in black. Okay? First thing we're going to outline is we're going to outline around our white eyes. Around the white eyes and around the white mouth. Thin little lines. The way to do that is with your little tiny brush. You can dip it in your water just to get it a little bit wet. And then pick up a little bit of black paint. That's going to help it spread, help it flow. And we're going to hold it close to the bristles. So we're going to pinch it off right at the tip. And we're going to press very lightly. The lighter you press, the skinnier your line's going to be. We're going to go slowly and lightly. You're going to pick up paint. You're going to try and get one fluid motion for a nice big line. Pick up some more paint and keep going. But key here is go slow. Don't rush it. Nice and slow, little small bits of black. I don't want you guys to rush it. So I outline the eyes, I outline the mouth. Now we need to do two big black ovals within our eyes. Whenever we're doing these, you always want to start off a little bit smaller than you think they should be. So we're going to start in the center. Two little dots, which I think he looks fine like that. What do you think? He's looking straight at you. Maybe he's looking at Corinne McFarlane, who's celebrating her 10th birthday, painting this poop emoji with us. So happy birthday to you. I like him like that. I think I'm going to have to paint him again and leave him like that. That's cute. Hope you like it, Corinne. Happy birthday. But we start off right in the middle with two little dots. And now we're going to start making these a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger until we get nice big ovals. If you have a big canvas, this is where I was saying we could use our medium brush. But it might be a bit better for you guys to stick with that small brush. Nice big ovals. There's one. We'll put in another one. We'll try and make them the same size. So take your time. There we go. It looks pretty happy. Looks pretty happy. Pretty happy. That's a happy little poop. After we get those eyes in, we're still going to be using some black and our little tiny brush. And we're going to outline our poop emoji. This is the point where you're going to go slow. You're going to wet your brush before you pick up a little bit of paint. You're going to hold it close to the bristles. And you're going to try and do longer fluid motions, really slowly though. Don't go too quick. Nice and slow. Little bits of water, little bits of black. Nice and slow. And take your time with that. There's no rush. Like I said, we'll be posting this on our Facebook afterwards, and hopefully we can figure out that live stream. Why that wasn't working for us this morning, but we got this. Now, there is one more thing to do, and it's always the most important thing of any painting, which is
Poop on it.
I was going to say do 15 more jumping jacks. So 15 more jumping jacks, then go ahead and sign it. I had a good time. That was a lot of work, but we got through it.
Do you need a break?
Yeah. Get a little
maybe,
break here.
maybe a 20-minute break.
Anyway, thank you very much, guys.
All right. I hope you guys had fun painting our poop emoji here tonight or today. Once again, apologize for I guess flipping back and forth from YouTube to Facebook. Hopefully, future ones will be just like they were before on Facebook, but this one will be posted. Yeah, if you had any questions or anything, just let us know. And we've got lots of supplies here. We're going to be doing a bunch more that we're going to be, posting next week. I hope everybody is staying inside, staying safe, staying isolated. We're getting through this, guys. We're doing very well so far here on the island, and you guys should all be proud of yourselves. And I hope that you're taking the time to your advantage, and you're enjoying some family time, and because you know what, it is unique. It is a different time we've never experienced before, but let's take advantage of it. Spend some quality time, and I think that's what I'm going to do this afternoon as well. So hope everybody has a great day, and we'll see you next time.